Hello everyone, this is Distant. I'm casting a game of 8-bit armies here. In the top left, in the magenta, we have Gur13 here playing as Renegades. Down here is his ally, Matt Baker, in the light blue playing as Guardians. And we have another Renegades here in the red, JonnyC. The other players on the other team are going to consist of Paul in the light green playing as Renegades, ImDisabled, and maoZd both playing as Guardians in the yellow and the orange. These two, ImDisabled used to be known as XSXW until like 2 days ago or so. So I believe him and maoZd joined a clan that I think just plain Savage is in charge of. I might be wrong about that, but judging by the fact that it's SAV, I would assume that it's just plain Savage's clan. Or at least it's named in his honor or something like that. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, who knows. On the other hand, this is interesting. There's one rocket infantry and one combat NG over here giving vision down the cliff, which may indicate the option of expanding this way. On the other hand, maoZd is also expanding with the power plant very forwards here, which might be sort of risky because it might not be the easiest thing to defend in an early fight versus a Renegade who's spamming tanks. A Guardians player may have to retreat back to a more defensible location until Spectres are out, and in that case this power plant could easily be lost. On the other hand, it looks like he is going to move in sort of aggressively, and he momentarily has a sort of an advantage since he has the APC and the grenade infantry, but Gur13 doesn't have a tank on the field yet, although he does have the tech lab done. But on the other hand, once the tech lab comes out, once enough tanks get on the field, maoZd might be in trouble here. Might have to call for reinforcements. Let's see, what's the tech levels looking like for our other players? Whoa, okay. So that's radar down very rapidly for ImDisabled. Looks like he's did a tech lab cell to rush that. Very interesting move. That means, I think it's a smart choice considering that he's near the center. It's going to give him the best chance to fast tech, and then once he has Spectres and heavy drones, he can reinforce his ally. And in fact, he's already reinforcing maoZd here on this front because, yeah, the tanks are going to give maoZd some trouble, running over a lot of infantry there. Basically, the entire infantry force for maoZd is gone. Ran over by tanks. On the other hand, this tank's just sitting there shooting at snipers. On the other hand, wow, maoZd, this is such an aggressive power plant placement. That is so risky. If this had been focused down by tanks, and tanks do siege damage, it would have been very bad. On the other hand, he also started a gun turret next to it. Cannon turret? Cannon turret, that's what they're called. Okay, looks like ImDisabled has managed to focus down the power plant, which will shut down Gur's ability to produce tanks, which will basically spell doom for him, actually. Between the combined fire from ImDisabled and maoZd, especially with like Spectres already on the field, and wow, okay, heavy drones too, although they're not on the front line yet. The Scorch tanks also do very good damage versus buildings, which will lead to this power plant to be lost, for example, which will shut these all down into low power. Well, cannon turret's still alive, being repaired actually, and so yeah, this is basically given maoZd and ImDisabled a very strong front. Between the superior tech levels and the cannon turret, they basically cut off Gur's front line from his back line. He doesn't even have an army left, but his production structures are cut off from his, from his base and stuff like that. These harvesters, just a bunch of them, nowhere left to go. Their original refs are dead. So yeah, it looks like Gur13 is out of this game now. Heavy drone entering the field with 2 air controls here at the very front line. And actually, it's funny, I was talking to Stuart earlier about the proper name for this building, because in some parts of the game they're listed as drone works, I believe. In other parts of the game they're listed as air controls. I call them air controls personally because I learned them as air controls, because I learned all the unit names and building names from the from the tech tree included with the game manual. That apparently is like the only place that refers to them as air controls. Other sources refer to it, the Renegade's as air controls, but then refers to these as like drone works or some drone something. But yeah, it looks like Matt Baker's trying to like break this front line, but really, honestly, he can't do much. Honestly, I think it would have been better for him to save his units, hide back here. Wow, the APC is still alive. I believe this is still the original APC. Now it's finally dead, although it's sort of useless now. And so, yeah, it looks like Matt Baker is GGing here. On the other hand, Gur13 trying to rebuild his units over here, surrendering now. Now it's just JonnyC, who hasn't actually really fought Paul throughout. I really haven't talked about either of these players the whole game. But apparently I think Paul was just... both of these players, I think, were just holed up in their main bases, not really doing anything. And now it looks like it is time for JonnyC to die. Because, I mean, honestly, it definitely does look like Paul did have to do the superior job of sitting back and making units without doing anything else, because his army is like twice the size of JonnyC's. But that, combined with the fact that JonnyC no longer has allies, well, okay, the game's over. So yes, apologies that the game was so short. I'm still sort of testing my stuff. I think a couple frames were dropped in that. And so I'm going to have to fiddle around with my settings some more. But, yeah. Just gonna say, I'm going to come back to 8-bit armies now. I'm coming back to AirMech soon. But I'm probably not coming back to PA for a long time, because Planetary Annihilation is very computer intensive. In fact, I haven't played many video games since moving in 6 days ago. So I've been on campus for 6 days with my laptop. The only things I played were a single game of 8-bit armies earlier today, and also a tournament of Planetary Annihilation. Nothing more. No AirMech yet. No more PA besides that tournament, etc. Overall, my laptop has some pretty good specs, so I should be able to continue casting 8-bit armies and AirMech, but Planetary Annihilation seems to be beyond my capabilities right now. So, it looks like my channel is going to shift back to being primarily AirMech with some 8-bit armies, with the attempt to move into Planetary Annihilation kind of stifled by the fact that I no longer have a computer good enough to run that while casting, so, yeah.